a heartfelt welcome. I'm Esther Buerki, the passionate author of Living Without Fear, a book that has touched many lives, and the co-creator of the Amazon bestseller Inspired Journeys. If you're here to explore new possibilities and find inspiration, you're absolutely in the right place. If today's episode resonates with you or someone you know, please share it. Let's spread the message of hope together. Don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter, join me on YouTube, and if you find value in this podcast, I'd be so grateful if you could leave a review and sprinkle some stars on your favorite platform. Your support means the world to me, and I'm deeply thankful for each of you. This is my 102nd solo episode. Imagine, I was so afraid of starting this podcast, and I was even more afraid of speaking to you just on my own without any other guest. But I kept on doing it, and I enjoy it so much now, sharing with you my thoughts and insights. Sometimes I choose a topic that I need to work on myself. And while preparing my thoughts, I gain some really important insights I would have never had without this podcast. Today's topic is making peace with your family or with people you have a disconnect with and you have resentments towards them. Why did I choose this topic? My dear 90-year-old mother is dying. I sat at her bedside a few days ago and realized once again how important it is to be at peace with someone who is soon leaving this world. It might be that by the time you listen to this episode, my mom is already gone. Every time in the last few weeks when I drove to the elderly home, every time I entered her room, every time I spent a few hours with her, and every time I said goodbye to her, I thought it would be the last time that I saw her alive. But today, she is still here, and I hope she isn't suffering too much. The last time, she was completely calm and slept most of the time. I held her hand, and whenever I wanted to let go, she pressed it and told me not to leave yet, not to let her go yet. It might be challenging for you to hear all this about my mother, especially if you're not on good terms with someone in your family and you're afraid they will die before you can make peace with them. Imagine this was me a decade ago. I was still upset with my parents. I still didn't like them because they had hurt me so much in the past. And I was always afraid they would pass away, and I would have to blame myself for not having had a better relationship with them. I remember a decade ago when someone told me they had been there for their family when someone passed away and how happy they were to be there for them in their last weeks, days, or hours. I believed those people were almost supernatural in how they managed that. I could never imagine myself doing the same. I never had the urge to touch my parents. I felt disgust at the thought of caressing them, holding their hand, or hugging them. And I never told them that I loved them. Only recently did I start doing all of this, and it feels so good. But it has been a whole process. And that's what I want to help you with today in this episode. The first thing you can do is write down what you are grateful for regarding the person you want to make peace with. At the beginning, you might feel all the hurt and misunderstanding they caused you. You need to set that aside and dig deeper to find out what they did that was positive. At first, you might not remember much, but start with something small, then find another small positive thing, and maybe a third. The second step is to tell yourself, this person did their best. They didn't want to hurt you. If they could have done better, they would have. Imagine them as a child and become aware of how much love they received from their parents. I'm sure it wasn't much or nothing at all. Imagine they feel hurt, unseen, unaccepted, or unworthy, just as you might feel at times. They are that hurt child that you carry within yourself, the one that's angry with your parents because they didn't give you more love or make you feel important in their life. So you always feel like you are not good enough. If you can shift your perspective, let go of blame, and see these people from a neutral position, you'll discover how emotionally poor they might be, how much they've already suffered, and how they're still stuck in that blame mode, which doesn't move them forward, not even a single inch. The third step is to forgive, not for their sake, but for your own peace of mind, because you will feel so much better. And if you have children, you're also doing this work for them, because you're breaking a generational pattern. Maybe the Hawaiian prayer called Ho'oponopono, which already helped me a lot, can help you as well. There is how it goes. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You need to say it out loud and repeatedly while you see this other person in front of you, looking at them from an outer perspective. Don't be the hurt child any longer. Before you can do it, maybe tell your inner child how much you love it, how sorry you are for it, because it's been hurt so many times in life and so deeply. Tell your inner child that you're proud of it because it survived all those years and that it's very strong. Give your inner child a big hug. Once you feel you're in a position to look at the person who hurt you from an outer perspective, start with the Hawaiian prayer. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You might need another round the next day or the next week. Maybe it won't work right away, but keep going to make peace and to be at peace, because you will become a different person and your life will never be the same. You might think about this peacemaking journey when someone in your family is about to pass away. You won't be consumed by your own hurt feelings anymore. Instead, you can focus on this precious moment between life and death, and you'll experience so much love, calm, and peace during those moments. No one can do this for you, and no one can take those moments from you. It is you, your body, and your soul that will become richer and feel fulfilled. So that's why you need to take the first step. It's for you and no one else. And if you now feel that you need to forgive someone, start today, or at least tomorrow, before it's too late and this person has already passed away. I beg you. And if you need help with this process, let me know. I'm here for you, and I will guide you. Also, if this episode touched you, I'd love to hear from you. You can share your thoughts on Instagram, YouTube, or per email. Thank you, dear listener, for spending your precious time with me. You're amazing, and you're a gift to everyone who crosses your path. If no one has told you today, let me say it. You are loved, you matter, and have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you next week.